The desert breathes at night. It's a slow, deep breath that you can feel on the back of your neck. The sun may burn the land by day, but when it sinks below the horizon, something else awakens. The air grows cold, sharp against your skin. The silence isn't empty. It's heavy, filled with things you can't see. Every rustle of a tumbleweed, every distant coyote howl sounds like a warning. They say the desert is a vast, empty place. They are wrong. It's a place full of stories buried just beneath the sand. And tonight, some of those stories are going to claw their way out. Don't turn off the lights. You might need them. I've always been drawn to these places. The places people forget. It lingers in the shadows cast by towering saguaros and hides within the dark mouths of abandoned mines. It's a lullaby for the lost. The sand remembers everything. My sister Maya and I were chasing a romanticized vision of freedom. A road trip through the Arizona desert seemed like the ultimate adventure. We packed our beat-up station wagon with snacks, water, and a tent we barely knew how to assemble. We were young and blissfully unprepared for what the desert truly held. Our parents gave the usual warnings, but it was my grandmother who spoke of the land itself. "Don't whistle at night," she'd said, her voice low and serious. "It invites things you don't want to meet. If you see an animal acting strangely, too bold, not quite right, just drive away, and whatever you do," she stressed, "don't look it in the eye." We laughed it off as spooky campfire tales. The first few days were a sun-drenched montage of breathtaking vistas, confirming our naive belief in a benign wilderness. But on the third night, we pushed our luck, pulling off a deserted dirt road miles from anywhere. As the sun bled out, it plunged us into an ocean of darkness and a profound, pressing silence. The silence was absolute, broken only by the crackle of our small fire. Then Maya grabbed my arm. "Those eyes," she whispered. At the edge of the firelight, 2 pinpricks of green gold, unnervingly still. "It's just a coyote," I said, trying to sound brave. But coyotes are skittish. These eyes were fixed, patient. The fire seemed to shrink, and the darkness felt bigger, like it was leaning in. The night held its breath with us. That's when we heard the whistling, a faint, high-pitched tune from all directions at once. It wasn't human. The melody was too perfect, too clean, a sound made by something that didn't need lungs. My grandmother's warning screamed through my mind. The adventure was over. Primal terror had taken its place. "The car! Now!" I hissed. We kicked dirt over the fire, plunging ourselves into darkness, and scrambled for the station wagon. We threw ourselves inside, slamming the doors as the whistling continued, mocking our panic. My hands shook so violently I could barely get the key in the ignition. The engine roared in the unnatural quiet as we tore down the rough road. In the rearview mirror, I saw them again, the 2 points of light, now moving, keeping pace. I pushed the old car harder, the speedometer trembling past 60, then 70, on a road meant for 30. Beside us, a dark shape loped through the sagebrush. It wasn't a dog. No animal could run this fast, this long. We hit the highway, but I didn't slow down, and neither did it. The shadow was still there, running just outside our headlights. Then it began to change. The 4-legged lope faltered, and the shape began to stretch, to elongate upwards with a sickening fluidity. It rose onto 2 legs, its speed never faltering. It was gaining. The whistling started again, sharp and clear, right outside my window. A cold dread paralyzed my lungs. I couldn't scream. Beside me, Maya curled into a ball, her hands over her ears, whispering a desperate, rhythmic plea, "Go away, please go away, go away." I risked a glance. I saw its silhouette, impossibly tall, lanky, horribly wrong. As it drew level, the dashboard light washed over its face. No nose, no mouth, only 2 piercing, intelligent eyes. In that terrifying moment of eye contact, a memory flooded back. The old man at the trading post 2 days earlier, his dark, unsettling gaze sizing us up, the same predatory stillness, the same eyes. The moment the recognition hit me, it was gone. The whistling stopped. The road beside us was empty. We fled to a diner, too shaken to speak. The adventure was dead, replaced by a shared trauma. Years later, cleaning out my grandmother's house, I found a clipping. A reclusive local man, the last to see a missing couple. His grainy photo. The face was different, but the eyes, it was him. My first solo cross-country trip was supposed to be about freedom. I was 22. My life was waiting in Los Angeles. The Mojave at night is a different world. After the radio faded to static, the silence felt peaceful at first, but the desert has a way of turning peace into a heavy, watchful stillness. The solitude became unsettling. Around 2 a.m., my headlights caught something shimmering. Not a road sign, but a shape, wavering in the cool night air. As I got closer, it resolved into a figure. A woman standing perfectly still. She was wearing a wedding dress, long, white, the hem frayed and stained with desert dust. Her thumb was out, bouquet wilting. My heart pounded, but I couldn't leave her. I rolled my window down a crack. The air that rushed in was frigid. "Are you okay?" She leaned in, mascara running down her cheeks. Her voice was a whisper. My car broke down. I was on my way to my wedding in Baker. She looked so heartbroken. "Get in," I said. She slid in, skin like ice as her arm brushed mine. The moment the door closed, the car's interior temperature plummeted. The air grew heavy, thick with a smell like old dried flowers and dust, a cloying sweet decay. I tried to make small talk, but she just stared forward, her hands folded over the dead bouquet. Her eyes were fixed on the road, but they didn't seem to be seeing it. The pity I felt was curdling into a cold, hard knot of dread. "Almost there," I said, my voice strained. 4 miles, 3. As the first lights of Baker appeared, I felt a wave of relief and turned to her. The seat was empty. My heart hammered my ribs. No door, no sound. She had simply vanished. The cold was gone, but the sickly sweet smell lingered. Then I looked down, a single withered white petal on the seat. Shaking, I pulled into a gas station. The old man behind the counter saw my face. "Ever heard of a woman in a wedding dress on the highway?" He nodded slowly. "Ah, you saw The Lost Bride." He told me the story. Decades ago, a bride-to-be's car broke down. She started walking for help and was killed. They say she still wanders, trying to reach a wedding she'll never attend. He leaned closer. "You're lucky. Sometimes she doesn't just vanish. Sometimes she wants to take someone with her." Last spring, my girlfriend Chloe and I camped in Anza Borrego. The desert has a reputation for profound beauty, but also an unsettling quiet. The silence out there isn't empty. It's heavy, like it's waiting. We'd gone to feel small under the unparalleled stars. For a while, we felt like the only 2 people on the planet. Close to midnight, she pointed. A single bright light hovered above the horizon. It wasn't a star. It had a presence, a weight. It didn't twinkle. It pulsed with a slow, deliberate rhythm. Too big for a star. No plane. I tried to rationalize it, but it was too steady, too silent. Then a second light blinked into existence, and a third. Soon, a dozen were performing a silent, impossible ballet. They moved with a fluid intelligence, darting and circling, weaving intricate patterns that defied physics. The colors weren't just changing. They seemed to be communicating, glowing white, then a soft, agitated red, then a cold, pale blue. Chloe was a photographer, always chasing the impossible shot. I saw the look in her eyes, not fear, but a dangerous fascination. She grabbed her camera. "I'm going to get a closer look." A cold dread washed over me. I pleaded, "No, Chloe, don't." She promised she wouldn't go far. "I'll be right back." And then she was gone into the dark. I watched her flashlight beam get smaller, then stop moving. My heart stopped with it. Then the signal came, desperate. 3 short flashes, 3 long, 3 short, SOS, and then her light went dark. At that moment, the orbs froze, converged into a blinding point, hovered, then shot straight up and vanished. I ran and called until my throat was raw. Rangers searched with helicopters, dogs, volunteers. They found nothing, except her flashlight, switched off on the ground. The desert is not empty. The desert is not empty. It's a library of whispers, a museum of disappearances. There are places where our rules don't apply, under crushing sun and an infinite canopy of stars. The Skinwalker, the Lost Bride, the Phantom Lights, they are not just legends, they are warnings. For those who have felt the cold touch of the unexplained, the truth is undeniable. The desert is awake, and it is watching. Next time you're out there and night begins to fall, when you see a strange light or a lone figure by the road, what will you do? Will you keep driving, lock your doors, and pray for dawn? Listen closely. A faint whistle, a rustle of a dress, a pulsing glow. The desert remembers. And now, so do you.